In the world of MMA, confidence can be your greatest ally or your biggest downfall. Today, we're diving into unforgettable moments where cocky fighters got a reality check they never saw coming. These 12 fighters learned the hard way that sometimes being humble goes a long way. Let's jump right in. 1. Alexander Hernandez versus Donald Cerrone. Our first story takes us back to January 19, 2019, where Alexander Hernandez, full of youthful arrogance, stepped into the octagon with the legendary Donald "Cowboy" Cerrone. Hernandez had a lot to say before the fight, showing no respect to Cerrone, a future Hall of Famer who had faced some of the world's best. Hernandez, boasting an impressive record and confidence to match, dismissed Cerrone as an outdated fighter. This blatant disrespect did not sit well with Cerrone, who was determined to prove a point. The fight began with Hernandez charging aggressively, but Cerrone's experience and composure quickly became evident. Using precise strikes and well-timed counters, Cerrone dismantled Hernandez's offense. By the second round, Cerrone's superior technique and unyielding spirit were on full display as he landed a devastating head kick, followed by ground and pound to secure a TKO victory. Throughout the fight, Cerrone dominated, methodically breaking down the young fighter. Post-fight, Hernandez took to Instagram, admitting he had been taught a valuable lesson about humility and respect. 2. Bobby Green versus Islam Makhachev. Bobby Green's bout with Islam Makhachev is another perfect example of how underestimating an opponent can lead to a brutal reality check. On February 26, 2022, despite Makhachev's terrifying reputation and his 9-fight winning streak, Green dismissed him as boring and one-dimensional. Green, known for his striking and confidence, believed he could outclass the Dagestani wrestler. Makhachev, however, known for letting his skills do the talking, delivered a brutal reminder of why he was considered the scariest contender in the division. From the opening bell, Makhachev imposed his will, taking Green down with ease. On the ground, Makhachev showcased his superior grappling, transitioning effortlessly and landing powerful ground and pound. The fight ended in the first round with a TKO victory for Makhachev. Green was taken down and smashed, but even after the loss, he remained unimpressed, attributing Makhachev's dominance to the alleged use of performance enhancers. This fight was a stark reminder of the importance of respect in the sport. 3. TJ Dillashaw versus Henry Cejudo. Next, we have TJ Dillashaw, who aimed to become a 2-division champion by dropping down to flyweight to face Henry Cejudo on January 19, 2019. Dillashaw, coming off significant success and having held the bantamweight title, was confident, perhaps overly so. He saw Cejudo as an inferior opponent despite Cejudo's status as an Olympic gold medalist and UFC flyweight champion. Dillashaw's confidence bordered on arrogance, believing his striking power would overwhelm Cejudo. But in the cage, Cejudo quickly shattered Dillashaw's dreams. Within the first minute of the fight, Cejudo landed a series of strikes that floored Dillashaw, leading to a TKO stoppage. Dillashaw protested the stoppage, claiming he was robbed and that the referee had acted prematurely. However, the situation worsened for Dillashaw when he tested positive for EPO, a banned substance, resulting in a 2-year suspension. This incident not only tarnished his legacy, but also served as a harsh lesson about the consequences of overconfidence and cheating. 4. Joanna Jedrzejczyk versus Namajunas. Joanna Jedrzejczyk's transformation from dominant champion to overconfident trash talker also led to a spectacular humbling. On November 4, 2017, against Namajunas, Joanna's relentless taunting, including targeting Rose's mental health struggles, backfired spectacularly. Jedrzejczyk, who had successfully defended her strawweight title 5 times, had begun to see herself as invincible. Her pre-fight antics were relentless, mocking Namajunas and attempting to get into her head. At UFC 217, Namajunas silenced Joanna with a knockout in the first round. Rose's composure and striking were on point, and she dropped Joanna early with a crisp punch, finishing the fight with ground and pound. Joanna accepted her defeat gracefully, acknowledging Namajunas' superior performance. In their rematch on April 7, 2018, Rose proved it was no fluke, defeating Joanna again by unanimous decision. This pair of fights highlighted the fine line between confidence and arrogance, and the importance of respect in combat sports. 5. Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira's saga is a tale of repeated humbling. As a high-profile kickboxer, Pereira had already defeated Adesanya twice, once by decision and once by a brutal knockout. Their rivalry continued in the UFC, culminating in a trilogy fight at UFC 281 on November 12, 2022. Adesanya, the reigning middleweight champion with 5 successful title defenses, entered the fight brimming with confidence. He believed his MMA experience would give him the edge over Pereira, who was relatively new to the sport. The fight saw Adesanya dominating the early rounds, showcasing his striking and grappling skills. However, Pereira's power was always a threat. In the final round, Pereira landed a series of powerful punches that rocked Adesanya, leading to a TKO stoppage. Adesanya, ever the sportsman, accepted his defeat, but vowed to come back stronger. True to his word, Adesanya reclaimed his title in their rematch at UFC 287 on April 8, 2023, knocking out Pereira in spectacular fashion. This rivalry demonstrated the resilience and determination required to bounce back from adversity. 6. Chael Sonnen versus Anderson Silva. Chael Sonnen's trash talk against Anderson Silva is legendary, but it's what happened inside the cage that really matters. Sonnen, known for his wrestling and relentless trash talking, dominated Silva for most of their first fight on August 7, 2010. Sonnen's pressure and ground control seemed to have Silva beaten. However, in a dramatic turn of events, Silva secured a triangle armbar submission in the final round, forcing Sonnen to tap out. This fight epitomized the unpredictability of MMA and the importance of never underestimating your opponent, no matter how dominant you may be. 7. Ben Askren versus Jorge Masvidal. Ben Askren's entry into the UFC was highly anticipated, but his cockiness was his downfall. Askren, a former Bellator and one championship welterweight champion, made a controversial but successful debut against Robbie Lawler. However, his next fight on July 6, 2019, against Jorge Masvidal would be a different story. Askren's pre-fight trash talk was relentless, belittling Masvidal and questioning his skills. Masvidal, known for his calm demeanor and fighting prowess, responded with actions rather than words. Seconds, setting a UFC record. Masvidal's performance was a brutal reminder of the dangers of underestimating your opponent and relying too heavily on trash talk. Askren was never the same after this loss, highlighting how a single fight can dramatically alter a fighter's career. 8. Ronda Rousey versus Holm. Ronda Rousey, a pioneer in women's MMA, reached unprecedented heights before meeting Holm. Rousey's dominance in the bantamweight division was unmatched, with 6 successful title defenses, mostly by her trademark armbar submissions. However, her confidence turned into overconfidence. Leading up to their fight on November 14, 2015, Rousey dismissed Holm's striking skills and believed she would easily defeat the former boxing world champion. At UFC 193, Holm showcased her superior striking, using her footwork and boxing skills to keep Rousey at bay. In the second round, Holm landed a devastating head kick, knocking Rousey out cold and ending her reign. The loss left Rousey devastated, and she took a significant hiatus from the sport. This fight was a powerful reminder of the dangers of underestimating an opponent and the need for continual growth and respect in the sport. 9. Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz. Conor McGregor's trash talk is part of his brand, but it didn't help him against Nate Diaz. Originally set to fight Rafael dos Anjos, McGregor faced Diaz as a late replacement on March 5, 2016. The fight was scheduled at welterweight, a weight class where McGregor had little experience. Despite this, McGregor's pre-fight confidence was sky-high, believing he could finish Diaz early. McGregor dominated the early rounds, landing powerful strikes, but his gas tank ran dry. Diaz, known for his endurance and ground game, weathered the storm and capitalized on McGregor's fatigue. In the second round, Diaz landed a series of punches, forcing McGregor to shoot for a takedown. which was a critical mistake. Diaz, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, quickly secured a rear naked choke, forcing McGregor to tap out. McGregor rebounded in their rematch on August 20, 2016, winning by decision. But the lesson in humility was clear. McGregor admitted that he had underestimated Diaz and praised his toughness and skill. 10. Conor McGregor vs. Khabib Nurmagomedov. McGregor's feud with Khabib Nurmagomedov reached new heights of animosity. The lead-up to their fight at UFC 229 on October 6, 2018 was filled with unprecedented trash talk. McGregor attacked Khabib's family, religion, and background, escalating the tension to a boiling point. Khabib, known for his calm demeanor outside the cage, let his skills speak for him inside the octagon. From the first round, Khabib imposed his grappling dominance, taking McGregor down and controlling him on the ground. In the fourth round, Khabib secured a neck crank, forcing McGregor to tap out. After the fight, Khabib leaped over the cage, inciting a brawl with McGregor's team, leading to suspensions and fines for both fighters. This fight underscored the importance of respect in the sport and the consequences of crossing personal boundaries. These stories remind us that in the UFC, no one is invincible. Overconfidence can lead to dramatic downfalls, and respect for your opponent is crucial. If you enjoyed this deep dive into humbling moments in MMA, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out our next video, where we explore times when underdogs triumphed over the giants of the sport. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more exciting MMA content. In the octagon, respect and humility often pave the path to greatness. These fighters learned that lesson in the most unforgettable ways. Here's to the warriors who pick themselves up, learn, and come back stronger.